The cadastral maps are at the survey number level. They are not at the individual farm level, which is a big challenge. But we are trying to solve that problem using remote sensing technology.
So, Ravindra, one core question I would like to address is, what does farmer-centric digital transformation actually mean in practice, in reality for Dvara e-registry?
What it practically means is that whatever lines of business we have and we are focusing on and we see as our growth path, they all center around smallholder farmers. So that's the simple answer. So we always endeavor to, think of products, think of our offering services, etc., which are built around this core. Obviously, this is through FPOs, and that way FPOs are essentially collections of farmers. So in that sense, we are farmer-centric. We don't think of anything else. For example, it could be that there could be easier to source loans for maybe businesses. But we don't do that. So that's what farmer-centric means for us, to focus on farmers, because that's our mission and we are sticking to our mission as far as possible.
How do we put the farmer first? What kind of thought or rationale goes into it when we are developing solutions?
Our aim always is that we just don't focus on only lending. So we try to get a sort of 360-degree view of what the farmer would need and try to build solutions around that. How to help farmer establish those market linkages, how we can take care of his farm, what are the inputs that we can give the farm in terms of farmer, in terms of advisories, or how we can reduce his risk which are inherent in farming. So and there is a lot more to be done there. And so at least as of now, that is our focus. So practically for us, that is what it means. Right?
Could you run us through, like, before coming up with a product or a solution, a novel product or solution for FLEAR, what would be the work that your team does in order to, finalize or fine-tune anything? It starts with an idea, right? After an idea is there, what would be the next steps?
So there are 2 or 3 kinds of inputs. One very important source of inputs is the FSOs. And even our senior management tries to interact with farmers as frequently as they can. And so we try and understand their needs. So we try to incorporate what we identify. The second source of change is obviously, as better and better technology becomes available, we realize that maybe we can improve our solutions, improve our services using the latest technology. So that's the second source of input. I think these are 2 primary sources, and we have a fairly sizable team which keeps, suggesting, questioning, keeps questioning, if we could do something better than what we have. And there's a constant feedback loop And I think FSOs and our product managers are the most important channels through which we get this input.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when we are introducing new digital tools, because we have already highlighted the challenges of implementing new digital technology to rural households or people who have not had this kind of accessibility before. Okay. So what do you think are the main barriers? Was it trust, usability, literacy, or perceived value? Whether this is going to be useful for me or not from a farmer perspective, or is it all of these combined?
No, one thing is it's fitness for purpose. That's, I think, the most important barrier. And we have learned quite a lot. I think I mentioned some time back that, if you expect the farmer to fill up a lot of forms, that's not going to, it's not going to work. Right?
It's not making it easy for.
Yes. So it has to, be very convenient. One, you need to offer what is valued by the farmer. And obviously, as they experience your services, your offerings, they would be expecting more and more. And we need to understand those expectations and try to build solutions which will address those expectations. So that's a constant process. I don't think we have reached a level where we can comfortably say that, that farmers are very happy with our solution, if they are 100% accepted it. That's not, we have not reached that level yet.
There's a dynamic progression. Similarly, what other challenges did the DER team have to traverse through when introducing new solutions to farmers?
As I said, though our solutions are built around farmers, farmers are not necessarily the end users as much as we would like them to be.
Okay.
They are beneficiaries,
Yes,
but not users. The usage is still not reached a level where we can say they are our users. So it is being intermediated through lenders, FSOs,
FPOs.
yes. Okay. So that is the next step, and that's where scaling would happen.
Understood. Okay.
Okay. So I would like to distinguish between farmers and beneficiaries and farmers and users. That's
Got it.
Yeah.
So at least let me rephrase my question then.
Yeah.
FSOs being one of the predominant segments that have actively been on the Dvara platform and usage. How have they responded to it? How easy is it for them to use, access? What has the feedback been from the FPOs?
So I think in general both FSOs and FPOs have been satisfied. Otherwise, we wouldn't have reached where we have reached today.
150 crore disbursement would not have been possible.
It wouldn't have been possible. But as I mentioned, that's also our channel for improvement, getting inputs for improvement. That feedback helps.
Yes, the feedback loop is essential.
Yeah. So two things. They are also aware of the environment. So if they observe something, somebody else has offered some solution, which they think that we should also have that feature or whatever, they would suggest that, and it would enrich our solution. Okay. And it's not that our core product team can think of everything. So that's
a technology. We've so far spoken about the solution, the challenges from a development, from a usage point of view, etc. I want to touch base on the statutory challenges. What kind of policy or policy gaps rather has been a major hindrance or a deterrent factor in terms of offering these kind of solutions to farmers?
Frankly, we don't encounter policies as a problem.
The agri-digital enablement, has there been would it be better to have any other form of limelight thrown from a statutory perspective, in just your opinion?
No, so I don't think policy is an issue. we have a big data availability issue in India. And data sharing issue. It's not a, because in fact we have a data privacy law, so it's not easy.
What about accuracy? Data accuracy.
Data accuracy is a big problem, data availability is a big problem, and it's all kinds of data. It's not just personal data of the farmer, but it, as I was trying to explain to you, like even the remote sensing data, even though we have government agencies producing that data, it's not easily accessible.
Okay.
It's only on commercial terms that it is accessible. It's accessible sort of free of cost to government, of course, but they can't do what we are doing.
Correct.
Correct. But there is an attempt to sort of monetize that data too. There is this whole idea of agri-stack, etc. It could be useful if it is priced well, and that can give a boost. So, at a policy level, they are already attempting to do that, but one doesn't know how long it will take. So one of the major problem areas is the land records.
I was just about to get to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, so first of all, the land records are at a survey number level. The cadastral maps are at the survey number level. They are not at the individual farm level, which is a big challenge. But we are trying to solve that problem using remote sensing technology. So a survey number would be divided into maybe 10 farms or 15 farms. Each of those farms could be having multiple owners. So all of that. And the major hurdle is none of the land records are linked to the personal ID of the landholders. So this is a big task. I don't know how long it is going to take. This is a challenge. So if I have to verify whether this farmer owns this particular landowner, I know approximately it is in this survey number, but which part of that survey number is it? At the north corner or
the exact dimensions and positioning of the land.
That's
left assumption.
Yes. So this is since you asked about policy, it's not a policy issue. I mean, I'm sure, I think government has already started projects to sort of get this data too. But it's a very long process. It took them probably 15 years to digitize at survey number level. And again, there are corrections required.
Yes.
Especially
at village levels, there is a lot of correction, and like you rightly pointed out, a lot of times the owner would have, the grandfather would have been the owner, and then it would have passed on to all the children, etc.
No, so that is different. That's called no. So that is called mutation. So the mutation processes are in place. But the original survey number map, whether it matches the situation on the ground.
Got it. As even the exact thing between another person's land to the land in question, the channels.
So and the errors could be as much as 10 to 15%.
Oh.
That's huge.
That's a very large margin of error.
So there is an attempt to improve this situation, but as of now, it's not something we can use. So
is it safe to say that one of the things that you, if if left to your suggestion, something that you would prioritize on this level is one, better land records and digitization so that it can be easily accessible and actually help at farmers for better
No, so the government records are not handling that, so we have to handle that.
Understood. So that
So what we are trying to do? So we are trying to set up procedures and make it easy for farmers themselves to digitize their own land.
and how does that exactly work? Using the remote sensing technology or how?
No, so we use multiple techniques. So first of all, a farmer can digitize his own land by using a mobile device.
Okay.
So we have apps that can help farmer do that.
Okay.
And as I mentioned earlier, we are trying to do that using voice user interface, so that it becomes easy for the farmer.
Okay.
So, but then we, using remote sensing, using land records, we do a cross validation.
Okay.
Because, we don't want to accept whatever farmer has done directly, because he may go to somebody else's farm and do that.
Yeah.
So how do we?
It's a border issue in most of
Correct.
these lands. Yeah.
So all of this, so we have developed techniques
Okay.
to validate whatever the farmer is doing. There is sort of an audit process also.
Okay.
So to make sure that whatever he has done, whatever data has been captured is reliable.
Okay.
So we have to do that. But if we had this data available from a trusted source like government land records, then we wouldn't have to do this.
Understood.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's always the question of encroachment also, which needs to be addressed and factored in as well.
Yeah, so you need independent verification from
Yes.
somebody. These are difficult tasks, of course.
Okay. So the land identification is something that if you had
And also the residential addresses. For example, one of the things we capture is whether the farmer owns a house or not. And then we would like, to see what kind of house, whether it is a kacha house or a pakka house, that kind of thing. So there also now we are trying to incorporate processes so that we get a photograph, we see the coordinates of the photographs to validate.
Okay.
So
who does this? Is it at FSO level or is it at farmer level?
no, currently it is at FSO level.
Okay.
Now we are trying to push it down to farmer level so that farmer can do all of this. And using technology, we can still validate what the farmer has done. So today, because FSO is doing it and FSO is our agent, we are assuming that there is a validation being done at that point. But that's not scalable. So we want something scalable. So everything that we need, farmer should provide to us directly. But we need then the validation process,
Fair enough. So that there's
which is
always
where,
cross-checking
yes.
Where do you see the biggest possible leap in agricultural systems or agriculture as its whole coming from? Would it be artificial intelligence, microinsurance, climate modeling, alternative finances, or cooperative, or a combination?
Well, I would like to distinguish between agriculture and farmers. So,
Fair.
for all you know, technology could make it possible that your entire food production could be automated and you could have tremendous productivity, etc., using technology, but that will push farmers out of their jobs. That's not our focus. Our focus is farmers.
Fair.
So, our thrust is that whatever the resources farmer has, based on that, we are concerned about farmers' livelihood and how that livelihood can be made sustainable. So maybe it is not possible to say increase the yields using technology if the farms remain small. Correct? But it's not our thrust that you should sort of collectivize those farms in some manner and increase the yields. That's not where our role is. As long as we have smallholder farmers, we want to improve their livelihoods. That's our focus. We are not concerned with agriculture as a company. So, in that sense, as I mentioned earlier, there are two kinds of technology one can talk about. One is something completely core, innovative. We, our team is not built for that. So we are not building some new LLM, for example. That's not our job.
Understood.
We see, but adopting the available tools, technology, whether it is in the remote sensing, whether it is any other area. So there we have a very good team, and without the strength of that team, we couldn't have come this far. And plus, what we are trying to do, we are working with the IIT Dvara. We have one excellence center there. So some of our team members sit in that office, and they interact with the faculty and students. So we keep getting inputs, and it's a highly committed team. And whatever we have done so far is possible because of that commitment. And I think they also share the same mission that the company has. That's very important.
Yes.
Without that kind of commitment, it's not possible to even survive. And, and that team is the strength. That is why the technology, I think, will remain the strength for Dvara e-Registry.
Well said, well said.
Yeah.
So it's about smart linkages of technology.
Absolutely.
It has been a excellent conversation with you, Dvara, and it's been very meaningful and impactful. But all the things that Dvara e-Registry is offering to the rural community to scale up and bridge the gap for financial inclusivity. Thank you so much for running us past all the exciting technology uses and where we are headed towards. Once again, heartfelt thank you from Dvara Tech Talks to you. Thank you for making it here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to at least sort of make public whatever we have been trying to do.
So, thank you so much, listeners. Dvara e-Registry has had a lot of exciting innovations in the rural agri-tech space. And if you would like to follow more about the achievements that they have had, please feel free to follow. The link will be as part of our comments for this video. Please take a look. Until we meet again in yet another Dvara Tech Talks. See you. Thank you so much. This is your host, Nivedita Gautam, signing off.